about urinary health. This month's newsletter from Stephen was on urinary health issues, so we're going to share a little bit about that. So some of the common urinary health issues are edema, UTIs, urinary tract infections, inflammatory conditions involving the urinary system like interstitial cystitis, urethritis, nephritis, kidney stones, urgency and urinary incontinence, nighttime urination, prostatitis and BPH, kidney weakness, and renal failure. So a little basics about urinary health. It's really important to stay hydrated. The solution to pollution is dilution. You know, we hear that all the time, and we see that in the environment around us. So our kidneys actually need pure water to flush acid and toxins from our body. So it's best to drink about 6 to 8 cups of water daily. And if you're a larger person and you happen to live in a hot, dry climate or are exposed to a lot of chemicals, you're probably going to want to drink more than 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. Many of you may have seen online urine color charts. Our urine should actually be a pale yellow color when we urinate. If your urine's dark colored, it means you need to drink more water. Sometimes if you take B vitamins, you'll notice a yellow tint to your urine. So if it's a dark yellow or darker, you definitely, it's a sign to tell you that you need to drink more water. There's also acidifying beverages. People that carbonated beverage actually put more stress on the kidneys because they're very acidifying, and one of the jobs of the kidneys is to maintain pH balance, and they'll use minerals to counteract that acidity from our bones and other areas of the body. Caffeinated beverages, especially coffee and energy drinks, put a lot of stress on the kidneys. Fruit juice, milk, alcohol, and other beverages also, as well as soda and coffee, do not replace the need for water. It's also best to follow a more alkaline diet when we're looking at urinary health. The body produces acid when we produce energy. And like I said earlier, a primary job of the kidneys is to remove this acid from the body, which is why a healthy urine pH is slightly acidic. An alkaline diet, primarily of fruits and veggies, will reduce stress to your kidneys by producing a less acid environment throughout the body, as well as avoiding sodas, lots of caffeine, fruit juices, refined sugar, grains, and excess consumption of animal protein. All these things are going to put more stress on the kidneys. So when we're talking about animal protein, we're talking about a portion size at lunch or dinner is no bigger than the palm of your hand. The kidneys also help maintain a fluid mineral balance. The alkaline forming electrolytes like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium is what helps regulate the fluid flow of the body. Excess acid causes our body to lose potassium, magnesium, and calcium in an effort to buffer the acidity. So that's why kidney health is really closely related to the health of the bones and joints. And that's why in traditional Chinese medicine, the kidneys build the bones because of the minerals. Our bones need minerals. So when we look at some of the health issues, when we look at edema or water retention, many of those symptoms are obvious. You're going to notice that your ankles, feet, or hands, and puffiness under the eyes. If you're noticing this on yourself, you want to get a medical checkup to determine what's causing this. Edema can be a sign of heart disease or heart failure. And potassium is really important for healthy kidney function, but diuretic drugs tend to deplete potassium levels. And there's many herbal and food products that can supply your body with potassium. So stimulating diuretics are used for acute edema when the kidneys need a boost, such as juniper berry, bushu, or uva ursi. And most of these formulas stimulate the body to let go of extra fluid. Now again, before you do any herbs or anything, you want to check with your doctors, especially if you're having a health issue or on prescription drugs. There's also very tonifying, non-irritating diuretics that you can use for long-term kidney use or with chronic kidney weakness. And those would be things like parsley, dandelion, corn silk, cleavers, nettles. Urine is supposed to be very sterile, which means it should be free of bacteria. And to get a bacterial infection, bacteria have to enter the urethra and travel upwards into the bladder. Women have a much shorter urethra, and that's why women are more prone to urinary tract infections than men. So one of the things you can do naturally for UTIs is cranberries, because cranberries can actually inhibit bacteria from adhering to the urinary passages, which helps prevent bladder infections. So consider drinking unsweetened cranberry juice daily. And you can also regularly take a cranberry Bushu formula from many herbal companies for protection. The herb Uva ursa has hydroquinine in it, which is a very powerful urinary disinfectant. There's also berberine, which is an antibacterial agent, which is excreted via the kidneys, disinfecting the urinary passages. So golden seal, Oregon grape, barberry, all contain berberine. You can also take berberine as a standalone supplement. But berberine herbs are usually typically combined with diuretic and arbutin-containing herbs to create formulas. So we're herbally looking at the health of the whole system. There's also inflammation you can get throughout the urinary tract. Various parts of the urinary system can be inflamed. A lot of people have dealt with interstitial cystitis, which is an inflammation of the bladder. Urethritis is inflammation of the urethra. Nephritis is inflammation of the kidneys. And all can be aided by anti-inflammatory remedies and very soothing diuretics to ease burning or scalding, like corn silk, marshmallow. Anti-inflammatory remedies that may help the urinary system include mangosteen, pomegranate. There's also diuretics for urinary inflammation, like asparagus, cleavers, dandelion, goldenrod, nettle, and parsley. I remember when I was in naturopathy school, one of the doctors said one of the best things for the kidneys is asparagus. And he said to take a gallon of distilled water, chop the asparagus up in about 1-inch pieces and simmer it, and then drink the juice. It's really healthy for your urinary tract. Many people also have problems with the frequent urge to urinate, followed by scanty urination. And this can be due to the person isn't drinking enough water and your urine may be too concentrated. And it can also be the result of a UTI or cystitis, which is inflammation in that area. A lot of people as they age become incontinent, and this can be caused by constipation, UTIs, or foods and substances that irritate the bladder. And those substances again include spices, caffeine, alcohol, blood pressure medications, and muscle relaxants. It can also be related to a lack of tone in the sphincter muscle that controls urination. So if you're dealing with incontinence, you may want to avoid substances which irritate your bladder. Keep notes, keep a journal so you can figure it out. Stay well hydrated. You may want to try some soothing diuretics like corn silk or marshmallow. You can also tone up the bladder and sphincter muscles doing Kegel exercises. Urinary astringents, because astringents tone and tighten things, may be helpful, and Uva ursa is one of those. Horsetail is another one. Both of those have been very helpful for incontinence. And then many people, I know my husband's had kidney stones and it looks excruciatingly painful. So kidney stones are typically from calcium oxalate and overconcentration of minerals in your urine. This rarely happened in primitive people. Passing kidney stones again is excruciatingly painful, and so it's way better to prevent them than to get them. So again, you want to stay well hydrated, avoid acid-forming beverages and foods, especially caffeinated and carbonated beverages. Avoid foods that increase urinary oxalate, like nuts, especially peanuts, chocolate, and tea. Magnesium and vitamin B6 are good supplements to take to help prevent kidney stones. And it can also help to take lithotropic herbs like hydrangea or lemon juice or gravel root. So if you're trying to pass kidney stones, you may want to mix the juice of 4 fresh lemons in a gallon of distilled water and drink this while fasting. You can also add lithotropic herb like hydrangea or some marshmallow and corn silk, but you definitely want to stay hydrated. A lot of people get up during the night time and urinate. A lot of children have bedwetting issues. A lot of times with children, it's because they actually don't even wake up to know they have to urinate. But adults who have developed more sphincter muscle control will wake up with the urge to urinate. And bedwetting normally resolves itself as children get older, but for adults it seems to get worse. So nighttime urination can be a sign that maybe your body's under excessive stress, you have some blood sugar imbalances, or your body's really fatigued. Maybe you're eating sugary foods before you go to bed. So you want to support the adrenals. Asparagus, licorice, astragalus. Also helps to drink more water during the day and less water in the evening. And then there's Chinese fire increasing formulas may be helpful. And you may have prostate problems, so get that checked out if you're waking up a lot with an urgency to urinate at night. And prostate problems are, prostatitis, which is when the prostate becomes inflamed and swells, making urination difficult. And the prostate can also become enlarged due to overstimulation of estrogens, which is what BPH is. So our prostates love zinc and omega-3 fatty acids. Herbs are nettle, saw palmetto, and make sure you're drinking lots of water. Kidney weakness, chronic kidney disease, kidney failure is rising at a rapid pace that it's almost scary. So symptoms of declining kidney function include incontinence, nighttime urination, excessive urgency, structural issues like arthritis and osteoporosis, low back pain, weakness in the legs and knees, rigidity in your personality, and chronic fears and anxiety. So there are herbs that help strengthen the urinary system, nettle, parsley, dandelion. There's also Chinese formulas looking for water increasing, which are great kidney tonics. So renal failure, what's scary about that is that can happen without any symptoms in the initial stages. As the kidneys become weak, the body becomes more acidic, and rising levels of urea in the blood will harm the brain and heart. Eventually it can lead to congestive heart failure, arrhythmia, tachycardia, and fibrillation. Medical treatment for renal failure is dialysis or a kidney trans. It's an extremely serious condition that requires medical treatment. It's not something you're going to take an herb for or a natural remedy. Changing your diet, drinking fluids, and maybe some herbs to help support kidney health may be helpful, but you do need to seek medical treatment. Again, nettle, Chinese water increasing formulas, diet full of fresh fruits and vegetables. You can juice potassium-rich greens like celery, parsley. You may want to try drawing baths to pull toxins out of your skin to help the body get rid of toxins. So when we look at kidney failure, I think, or chronic kidney disease, I think we're currently looking at 1 out of 7 people. And I think that's right, almost ahead of cancer. So it's very, very scary. So take care of your urinary health. Today's diet, lots of sugar, lots of processed foods, lots of acidic sodas and energy drinks, trouble managing stress, not drinking enough of the right fluids and eating enough of the right foods, obesity, high blood pressure are all leaning to increasing this rate. So I hope you found that informative. I hope you're going to drink a glass of water every morning when you get up and shoot for 6 to 8 glasses a day. And remember, if you're in heat, to drink more than that. So thanks for watching. Have a great week, and we'll see you in a couple weeks with Healthy Habit Wednesday.